Hi, I'm Pedro, aka Blacklisted from the panel, and I already know who you are, but for those that are watching, could you please just explain who you are and what you do?
Hello everyone, my name is Luca and I'm the category manager for Europe for the Mizuno Lifestyle collection.
Excellent. So, some people may not have heard of Mizuno, so why don't you help our viewers just explain who is Mizuno, how long have you been around, and what do you do?
Sure, so Mizuno is one of the most historical sports brand that is today in the market because Mr. Ryachi Mizuno, our first president, started this company in the 1906, so 112 years ago in Osaka, that is our home country. Right now we are basically in these 112 years, Mizuno was always trying to introduce new performance into the new performance shoes, new performance gears, because we are not a footwear brand. We also do apparel, we also do accessories. So we are a multi-sport category, multi-sport brand. So in these 112 years, Mizuno was always looking to get new performance.
Right.
And it's only 2 or 3 years ago, actually, that the company decided also to make a step into the lifestyle market.
Okay.
And that's why I would say this is a big plus for us, I think, because even if, yes, our competitors are already in the market since 20 years,
Sure.
so of course they have more experience than us in that kind of distribution and consumer, but we look this as a plus, because we basically have way more. We have really a lot of story to bring out, and as well we are basically new in the market. So we are anyway introducing something that for the lifestyle consumer is new but is old. So this kind of match, we think it's really a key for us to use for the.
Interesting. You mentioned story, and for me, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Mizuno was huge. Running primarily, tennis and golf.
Yeah.
And of course, this is based on the fact that I live in the UK. I know they have other fingers, other hands in basketball and volleyball and other sports like that. What I want to know is, since the 90s, what happened? Mizuno seemed to have just disappeared and then reappeared again. So what happened in that period?
Yeah. So one of our strengths is that we are a multi-sport brand.
Okay.
As you mentioned running, you mentioned golf, and you mentioned tennis, right? As a sport that you know better. And of course, especially the first two, running and golf, are really two of our key business. Next to this, there is also baseball, that in the US and in Japan, it's really huge. Right. Not only footwear, but also all the jersey, all the bats, all the cap, all the gloves. We do all the total gear for baseball. I would say the golden age, if we can call it like this, of Mizuno, it was definitely from the end from the middle of the 90s to the middle of the 2000s, 2006, 2007. Then, of course, huge brand like Nike, like Adidas start to be really big, and especially in terms of they started to get a lot of market share. But it's not that Mizuno reduced his part. We still was there, honestly, with always a lot of athletes. Of course, our visibility was a little bit maybe lower, because those brands actually really become way too visible and big for everyone else, I would say.
Right.
So we have a huge story of athletes behind, and it's not only the past, because even today we have like, for example, Kiki Bertens in tennis that you mentioned, that is if I'm not wrong, top 10 in the WTA. So we still have in all the sports a lot of key athletes, because the athletes are our main, let's say, target in the performance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with all of that, I would say in the last 2-3 years, you've now arguably reappeared again in the marketplace. What was the decision or the catalyst to say, okay, now's the time to let the world know about Mizuno again?
Let's say the life. You mean with the lifestyle collection, with the sports style. Because we call it sports style. Actually, it's a lifestyle collection. Internally, we call it sports style.
Okay.
Because again, what we would like to transmit to our lifestyle consumer is that we are a sport brand.
Right.
That's really a key. We don't want to become a fashion brand at all.
Right. Okay.
So we call it sports style.
Sports. Okay.
So the decision, of course, was one of the big thing was to tell the story, and nothing. We think that nothing more than lifestyle is good for telling the story of the brand. Also bringing back some heritage shoe.
Okay.
But even in this case, our SportStyle connection will not be only about heritage.
Right.
In the future, we will also introduce new models that will have a strong functionality coming, of course, from our performance background.
Sure.
The reason why a brand like Mizuno decided also to get into this category, it's of course because it's a market that where we think we can have a big opportunity.
Okay.
Because it's a market that is growing, the sneaker market, and it's a market where it's lacking a little bit of new brand coming.
Okay.
The sports style, of course, the fashion that is every day are different, but that's not where we want to compete.
Right.
In the sports style, in sportswear, that's where we want to compete. We are basically the newest brand in that market.
I see. So, with all of that said, I feel like Mizuno have decided to announce themselves with this shoe. Mm-hmm. You had the first one that came out earlier this year, different colorway, and now we have this shoe, which I believe is the OG colorway of the Wave Rider. So, just again for our views, why this particular shoe did Mizuno decide to come back with?
Yeah, this is the Wave Rider 1.
Yeah.
This is a shoe from the 1998. Okay. As you mentioned, we bring back for the first time this shoe in March of this year with another original colorway that was the white and black. So in the 1998 there was two colors on the catalog.
Sure.
One was the white and black, and one is this one, the one that we're dropping today. We wanted to start the year with one original color and to end it with the last one. So what we did in the middle, we had some collaboration on that shoe and other projects also with other silhouettes. Why we choose this shoe? It's because almost 3 years ago when we were saying, okay, we have to start the lifestyle business. With what will we get into the market?
Sure.
What we said is we need a shoe that first of all represents the Mizuno identity.
Okay.
And after going through, believe me, the really million of catalogs, old catalogs that we had in our headquarters in Osaka.
Sure.
We were all agreed that the Wave Rider 1, that is the first shoe that Mizuno introduced with the Wave technology.
Right.
That is a technology that even today all our performance shoe has on it. Because the Wave Rider 22 that is dropping now in AW still have the Wave technology.
Wow.
Of course, an evolution of that, not this anymore, but it's still, let's say, the principle behind it's still the same. So that shoe we were thinking, okay, it could be our icon.
Okay.
We were also lucky because when we started, there was not this trend of, we call it, let's say, chunky shoe, was not really a trend at that time.
Right.
And therefore, and to be honest, we came back in the perfect timing because that shoe is very iconic of the brand, and at the same time, it's super on trend with what the market is proposing today.
Of course. So would you say this shoe, the Wave Rider, would you say it's more a performance shoe, or would you say it's a performance shoe catered for lifestyle?
Today it's a retro shoe, it's a retro running shoe, it's a performance shoe that today we use for lifestyle.
Okay.
Of course, this you can run with it because they were big athletes were running with that shoe in the 1998.
Right.
Today the new technology can make you running. I would not say way more comfortably because that's super comfortable, but the shoe are way more light, way more. You have way more reaction on the run. So of course the technology evolved. But let's say hypothetically you could run without that anything hurt because they were running with that shoe in the 1998. So
Okay, no problem. And this shoe, when does it release? And if anyone's interested, where can they purchase this shoe from?
this shoe it's part of the project that we call Kazoku in Mizuno. That in Kazoku in Japanese means family.
Okay.
And it's all the project that we dropped in 2018 was part of this big project. The shoe will drop on Saturday, the 24th, in all our Kazoku retailers. For example, in London, it will be in Foot Patrol, in Sneaker and Stuff, and in Pata.
Okay.
In the UK, also Hanon Shop in Aberdeen will have it.
Okay.
And then we are basically in all the best sneaker store all around Europe, like a few store in Germany, Soulbox, Slam Jam in Italy, 24 Kilates in Barcelona. We are that kind of really top level of sneaker store.
Excellent. Luca, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks much to you.
Appreciate it. I've been Pedro, aka Blacklisted. Check us out, thepanel.online. Follow, subscribe, check the link box, the like box, and give us a follow. Peace out, people.
Bye bye.